Ooh. What up, yo? TD Jakes and Puffy. Jakes and Puffy and Epstein. Alright, so somebody had asked me about this on one of my lives, and I had no idea what you guys were talking about. But I looked on World Star Hip Hop, and just want to get my thoughts on this. Of course, I don't know if it's real or not. Oh my goodness. I don't know if it's real. So I don't know if it's real, you guys. But what I do want to say is, it doesn't surprise me. Look, this don't surprise me. Not at all. And there's going to be a lot more big names thrown in there. Look, there has been rappers associated with preachers for a long time. And once they move this whole thing off into Atlanta, there's going to be some people down there who's going to be like, yeah, this is what these people were doing, or this person was doing. So this thing is just going to keep going. It's like the flu now. It's just one person catch it. It's going to be like the Me Too movement. That's what it's going to be like. And if you get caught up in it, it's because you was doing something. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's true, but I highly believe that it's true. I really do. And it really doesn't matter what we believe. What matters is what the courts believe. Because one person is coming out and saying, yo, TD Jakes did this to me when I was, knee-high to a butterfly. And then, he got paid, Jakes paid old boy's parents off. And, but old boy grew up now. He's like, I gotta, and he went and got a lawyer. He's got a lawyer now. So I think Jakes has lawyered up, all this is alleged. I think they're gonna, go after, like I said, some people in Atlanta, some really, really big names in Atlanta. They're gonna go after those people. And what's gonna happen at the end of all this is some people are gonna, okay, let's look at it like this. Puffy has lost a bunch of credibility. When you want to hurt somebody, you go after their money. So, the thing that Cassie did, with her lawyers, they went after the money. But also, what Cassie did, Cassie had a list. She has a bunch of tapes and a bunch of information that's recorded. And Cassie's husband was told to go ahead and release this information to investigators. So, Cassie didn't want to do it because this is alleged. Because they were doing stuff to Cassie. They were doing a lot of physical things to Cassie, and it was recorded. And so she's like, I don't want the world to see this. I'm a married woman now. I got a kid. Well, they're like, no, we want this information. You wanted to sue him. You sued him. You got all the money that you asked for, and you got it. You got a settlement, which means you didn't have to go through the whole court system, drawn out court system. You didn't have to pay lawyers through that whole process. You got your money. Now we want our information, regardless if it's you know, doing stuff with the bodyguards, you know, or the male strippers that he would hire to come over and do stuff to you. Yeah, if you're, you know, somebody is doing number one on you, yeah, all that's gonna be on there, but we want to see it because we need that information. You got your money, that's the trade-off. So that's the trade-off. You got your money, this is what we want. So that information was released by Cassie. She's going to have to just say, hey, you know, that's what it was back then. Because right now she's filthy rich because of it. And T.D. Jakes is going to have to pay somebody off. But this story is very familiar because of, who was that other big preacher? I forgot where he was from, but Eddie Long. Remember that? Eddie Long and the four boys that turned around and sued him. So that's what this reminds me of, this whole Jakes thing and how he got mixed up in this, you know, whole thing that they've been doing. And this allegedly happened a long time ago, as far as with Jakes. I don't know, 20 years or whatever. I don't know. But it was a minute ago when Jakes was into this whole thing. But nonetheless, you know, they're alleging that he did this to somebody who was, you know, knee-high to a butterfly, shorty. So they're going to go after him criminally. And then they're going to go after him in civil court. So they went after Eddie Long. They went after Eddie Long, but they went after him civilly. They went after him in civil court. And one of the reasons is that he didn't go to jail or anything. But one of the reasons is, yeah, they got Eddie Long for grooming. All right. It's the same thing they're trying to get a bunch of other people on. If any signs of grooming somebody who is, younger, they got Eddie Long for grooming. He was taking these boys on trips. He was giving them money. And it was clear that he wanted a relationship with these boys. So they got him on grooming. And so they said, we're not going to try to put you behind bars. We're going to get you to pay us. So Eddie Long had to pay out a bunch of people before he passed. And then he got sick and then he died. So that happened. T.D. Jakes, he's going to have to pay in civil court. But if they find out that he did do something, physical, then he might end up, I doubt if he's going to do any time, but, he might get sentenced and they might just say probation. We know this happens. We've seen this happen in the case where, who's those people that own Texaco or whatever, the people that own all that gas? One of the adults was doing stuff to one of his, kin that was, very short, a shorty. And the judge said he won't do good in jail, so we're not going to put him in jail. So there's that. They gave him house arrest. It was like, wait a minute, what? So these big time people, a lot of them will get sentenced, but some of them might not go to jail. So don't be surprised if Eddie Long gets sentenced, but he doesn't go to jail. But because he's sentenced, that means he's guilty of something. And if it shows that he's guilty, then they can go ahead and sue him in civil court. So yeah, that's the whole system. It's like when a cop, is found guilty of something, then once they have that, boom, you're found guilty, they go to civil court and then they sue the department or they sue the city or they actually sue the police officer. the family does if the person is unalive. So that's my gist of it. That's what I think is going to happen. We see that Puffy didn't go to jail. It's going to be hard to put Puffy behind bars. It's going to be very, 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 very hard because of how much money that Puffy has that everyone is eating off of. Everybody's guilty. Like the lawyers, the judges, they're all guilty. These people don't run in these circles and they're not aware. They're all aware. They're all doing something. You better believe that. You better believe this was no secret. The stuff that they do to all these people, there's no secret. But they have this whole society where they're like, okay, if it gets out, we're gonna give you a slap on the wrist. It's gonna look like, everyone's satiated, and we're gonna, placate them, and then, you're not gonna go to jail. Just, go somewhere and be quiet. You're gonna pay out a couple mil, so what? You'll get it back, and then everybody's gonna be hush hush about it. So that's what I think is gonna happen, and it's sad because if it was any normal person, any regular Joe, any regular person that had a situation like this, they'd be looking at 25 years. Easy. You know what I'm saying? It'd be easy 25 years. And there would be no mercy. And then these judges, lawyers, prosecutors would sit up there and act like they did the world this whole favor because they put this so-called bad person away. But nonetheless, you guys are the bad people. You guys are well aware who's out there doing wrong, and you won't put these people behind bars because they grease your pockets. So money is the ruler here, and just wanted to say that. It's your boy Tone. Peace.